Solomon, wisdom, wealth, and the heart that drifted. A Bible story of wisdom, glory, and warning. 1 Kings 1-11, 2 Chronicles 1-9. Before gold filled the temple, before nations traveled just to listen, before wisdom became his name, there was a young man stepping into a crown too heavy for his head, a son of David, a king by promise, a ruler standing at a crossroads. This is the story of Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, and the man who learned that wisdom without obedience can still lead the heart astray. A throne inherited, not earned. David, the great king of Israel, was old and near death. The warrior who defeated giants now lay weak in bed, and as his strength faded, tension rose in the palace. Some believed the throne should pass to Adonijah, David's older son, but God had already chosen Solomon, born to David and Bathsheba, a child of grace and second chances. At the right moment, David spoke. He ordered Solomon to be anointed king before all Israel. Trumpets sounded, oil was poured, the people shouted, "Long live King Solomon." And just like that, the young man became ruler of a powerful nation. But Solomon knew something deeply unsettling. He had inherited a kingdom, but he did not yet have the wisdom to rule it. The prayer that changed everything. Early in his reign, Solomon went to Gibeon to worship God. That night, God appeared to him in a dream, and God asked a question that would define Solomon's life. "Ask what I shall give you." Solomon could have asked for long life, for riches, for victory over enemies. But instead, the young king humbled himself. He said, "Lord, I am only a little child. I do not know how to go out or come in. Give your servant an understanding heart to judge your people, that I may discern between good and evil." God was pleased, and God replied, "Because you have asked for wisdom, and not for wealth or power or the lives of your enemies. I will give you wisdom such as no man has ever had, and I will also give you riches and honor." That night, Solomon became the wisest man on earth. Wisdom on display. Soon after, 2 women came before the king, each claiming to be the mother of the same child. There were no witnesses, no evidence, only one living baby, and one terrible dispute. Solomon listened carefully. Then he said words that shocked the room. "Bring me a sword. Divide the living child in 2, and give half to one and half to the other." One woman agreed coldly, but the other cried out, "No, my lord. Give her the child, just let him live." Solomon stopped the execution, and he declared, "This woman is the true mother." When Israel heard of this judgment, they stood in awe. They realized that the wisdom of God was truly in Solomon, and his fame began to spread across the world. The glory of Solomon's kingdom. Under Solomon's rule, Israel entered a golden age. Peace surrounded the nation. Trade flourished. Silver became as common as stone. Kings and queens traveled great distances just to hear Solomon speak. Solomon built palaces, cities, walls, and most importantly, he built the temple of the Lord in Jerusalem. For 7 years, workers labored, stones were cut in silence, gold covered the walls, and the Ark of the Covenant found a permanent home. At the dedication of the temple, Solomon prayed, "May your eyes be open toward this house day and night. Hear the prayers of your people. Forgive them when they turn back to you." Fire fell from heaven. The glory of the Lord filled the temple, and Israel rejoiced. It seems Solomon's reign was blessed beyond measure. The queen who came with questions. News of Solomon's wisdom reached a powerful ruler from the south, the Queen of Sheba. She traveled with camels, carrying gold, spices, and precious stones. She came with hard questions, questions meant to test the limits of human wisdom. But Solomon answered them all. Nothing was hidden from him. When the queen saw his wisdom, the order of his kingdom, the splendor of the temple, she was left breathless. She said, "The half was not told me. Your wisdom and prosperity exceed all I had heard. Blessed be the Lord your God." Solomon had everything: wisdom, wealth, honor, fame, but the greatest danger was quietly growing, a heart slowly divided. Solomon loved many foreign women, wives and concubines from nations God had warned Israel about. 700 wives, 300 concubines. At first, the compromise seemed small, but over time, their influence grew. They spoke of their gods. They built altars. They invited Solomon to worship with them. And Scripture says something heartbreaking. When Solomon was old, his wives turned his heart after other gods. and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord. The wisest man alive, the builder of the temple, began bowing to idols. God was patient. God warned him, but Solomon did not turn back. The cost of turning away, because of Solomon's disobedience, God declared, "I will tear the kingdom from your son's hands. Yet for the sake of David, I will not do it in your lifetime." Enemies rose against Solomon. Peace faded. The United Kingdom began to crack. Solomon, who once wrote proverbs about wisdom, now learned a painful truth. Wisdom without faithfulness leads to emptiness. In his later years, Solomon reflected on life's pleasures, riches, and achievements, and he wrote words that still echo today. Vanity of vanity. All is vanity. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Solomon's story is not just about wisdom, it is about the heart. You can start well, pray boldly, build great things, and still drift. If you stop guarding your devotion to God, Solomon teaches us this: wisdom is a gift, success is a blessing, but obedience is everything, because the greatest wisdom is not knowing many things, but staying faithful to the one who gave you everything. This is the story of Solomon. Subscribe and share.